Well, you can't phone it in when you were racing Can-Am cars. I mean, that just wasn't an option, right? Those things were brutal beasts.
Yes. I think I lived through a golden age of that. The wonderful thing about the Can-Am is that we used to say it has the thinnest rule book in racing. I think the only thing that beats it is the Pikes Peak Hill Climb rule book. There's nothing forbidden there. But you could do almost anything as long as your car had body work covering the fenders and 2 seats. So you could call it a sports car. You could put 2 engines in it. You could put aerodynamic devices on it. You can put any number of wheels on it that you wanted to. There was no dimensional limits. There was no restriction on the weight. There's not such thing as a minimum weight.
Wow.
You could carry as much fuel as you wanted to. It's unbelievable to people today.
Yeah.
You could.
Did they? I don't remember, but did they race long enough during a single race that they would add fuel, or would they just run like a Formula One race with just enough fuel to run the whole race?
Correct. They were generally around 200 miles.
Gotcha. Yeah, those
and that needed like 50 to 75 gallons.
Right. It's amazing to watch the footage from those guys back in the day, and those cars, were not stuck to the ground like you think. Well, except for the sucker car that Jim Hall made that actually literally did suck down to the road. Well, it was fun to watch. What killed Can-Am?
I have several theories. We could do a whole show on that. To be fair, the times had changed. Remember, that was beginning to be the problem. The Arab fuel crisis came in. The more concern about pollution came in. There were more and more interest in safety. The automakers that during the 60s had been focused on performance because that's what their buyers were keen on. They were sort of mandated by the government and by public feeling and pressure and probably personnel changes to then start focusing on socially responsible aspects of cars. So the spirit went out of the Can-Am in my mind. Plus, they kept messing with it. They kept adding rules.
Right.
We went from the thinnest rule book in racing to they started adding pages to the rule book, and to the point where they became no longer unique, never before seen cars. So they were just another car.
Just another car.
That took the spirit out of it.
Could there be a similar version of Can-Am today? I mean, with unlimited technology, these cars would be, it's hard to even imagine that they'd be any better than Formula One cars, but they're highly regulated too.
Well, I mentioned Pikes Peak. I haven't been to Pikes Peak for years. Maybe it's changed a bit, but also that I think is still the case, but there's also off-road truck racing.
Right.
There's those classes in off-road trucks where it's just as free as the Can-Am used to be.
Sure. So. Yeah, Pikes Peak looks like a ride-along. Maybe I'd pass. I might pass on that. That seems like.
Have you ever driven up that road in a regular car?
No. Well, my kids live in Colorado Springs, and we keep every time we go there, it's closed or something, and we never get a chance to go. But we wanted to. But even then, I would imagine it's a little nerve-wracking, right?
There's one part of that ascent where you are on a relatively straight section of road. It's now paved. It was dirt when I did it. And on your left, there's this gigantic wall of rock, and the road's only this wide. And on your right, there's this gigantic drop off into absolutely nothing. The next thing out there is Kansas.
That's a long way.
Thousands of feet down. Even though it's a 2-lane road, you're hugging over to the wall on the left.
It's like those jitneys you see in different parts of the world, and they're on those narrow mountain roads that there's no guardrail or anything. It's
right.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden.